Alright, welcome back to GT4. So, off screen, I was trying to potentially get 200 points with this car here. It's a used car that has like 40,000 miles on it and bad oil, but it's just too hard for me. There might be a better way of going about getting 200 points in the event that I'm going to do. So let's just hop in this thing, which is what I was going to use, and let's move on. So 4-hour endurance. I'll be doing most of it myself. I may have Bob do some of it. But yeah, we're going to be here for 4 hours, give or take. Now, just to make sure, we do have, Sports Soft, right? I should have Sports Soft tires equipped. If not, then, okay. Sports Soft. Okay, let's lower this. Because I'm at Tsukuba Circuit, we won't be... Actually, let's lower it a little more. We probably won't be getting much in top speed. Actually, you know what? Let's just go all the way to 1. I have no idea what this car's top speed is. But I do have 312 horsepower, so I'm probably going to hit it fairly quickly. Hello, Gabriel. Good to see you here this morning. Let's... yeah. So, in case you are interested, I did just upload the third and fourth segments of Dead Space right before starting this. Get out of the way, Mazda. Okay, I think I may have overdone it on the acceleration versus top speed, because I have a feeling we're going to be hitting top speed in the straight, aren't we? Yeah, I overdid it a little. Not much, though. So. Come on, turn, damn it. Now, a quick word to the wise while I was doing off-screen shenanigans. If you want to enter the pit stop, you have to enter the pit stop from, like, at the very end of the straight. Otherwise, the game will just spit you out and not allow you to pit. Bob completed the R2. 12 laps ahead of the second place with 444 laps. That's pretty good, actually. Use the Pescarolo like you said you were going to. you were against the 787B and the R92. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me those popped up. Come on. There we go. Alright, so I think tomorrow's stream will be the Infineon one, the 245 Endurance, if you were wondering. At least one of the three will race the R92 Minolta or the Sauber. In the Lasarth Endurance. Or in Infineon. Someone's having a street race outside my house, apparently. Lasarth too, but Infineon, you'll race those cars as well. Okay. I kind of figured as much, given that you need the IA license for both of those, and I have mentally wrote it down that, like, the license you require, it directly correlates to the competition you fight. Yeah, I need to not take that shortcut, or the little cut through the grass, because it fucks my gearing. feels oh so weird after so many potential attempts of well, not even potential, but attempts of trying to get 200 points. It feels weird actually driving a car that can do this effectively. Almost 9 hours to do the endurance totally B-spec. Yeah, I can believe that. Now, one thing I did, uh, how should I phrase this? I did realize if I were to try a B-spec only playthrough slash zero A-spec playthrough is I don't have access to the RSC Rally Raid Car credit farming technique. So early game might actually be kind of rough there. And furthermore, with zero A-spec points, I can't do the driving missions. And I can't get those nice rewards. Furthermore, nitrous doesn't exist in B-spec. Your car pitted more than 50 times. Yeah, that sounds about right. And if it's making pit stops every 7 to 8 laps, and you did 444 laps, yeah, that sounds about right. Although, actually, I think that math is a little bit off. Oh, yeah, you did say more than 50. Okay, actually, yeah, the math would add up if it's like 60 or so. When I did Nürburgring, my car was consistently pitting at 4 to 5 laps. 5 if he fucked up and missed the pit, because Bob be like that sometimes. Okay, so that back left tire is pretty worn, so I guess I'll make a pit stop. Never used the Pescarolo in childhood playthrough. That doesn't surprise me. There's so many cars in the game. You would never think to use a lot of them. Especially if you're not going for a... Especially if you never go for any 200 point races. Well, minus the ones that you're guaranteed, of course. Okay, so let's do sports medium. In the back, no fuel. We do not need fuel. No fuel required. Okay. The fact that none of these have made a pit stop yet means that there's no way I was going to win the race with trying what I was trying for 200 points. There's no chance of that. Maybe a different Miata would be better. I'm not sure. But I definitely can't use a new one. I've tried. Take forever to pit in the race. Yeah, because they have to drive. They have to drive all the way around the turn at slow speeds and then pit. Like I said, you can't just pit at the last second or else you just get spat out. I was thinking this might be like... Remember in GT3, when you do the Roadster Endurance, they make pit stops like every 3 laps out of the 40 in Apricot Hill you have to do? It's like, they make pit stops so frequently in that version that... Or in that game, that, like, if you have hard racing tires, you just outlast them. What I do in Banjo. I didn't actually touch the game yesterday. I went out to dinner and then pretty soon went to bed. Actually, I went to bed, woke up, and played some StarCraft 2 co-op. I'll record more of that later this week, I think. I was also trying to see if I could get See if there's a setup to get 200 points here, which I couldn't find one. Get out of here, buddy. Search GT forums or Reddit. Yeah, I tried that already, but Google search results suck for that. And also, it's very specific trying to get 200 points. Like, in order to even try 200 points, I had to get a very specific lineup with the car I was using. Keep in mind, I got it from the used car dealership and did not change the oil. Just changing the oil seemed to make it impossible to get 200 points. Change of oil can happen. What can happen to the AI? I don't think oil affects the AI whatsoever. I think that's only a thing that affects you. We're 1/10 of the way done with this. So at this rate, we're going to hit lap 220. Well, it won't be that high, but yeah. We're going to hit low 200 laps. This one is colossal weapons. What's a colossal weapon? If you're referring to, like, ultra great swords and stuff, yeah, it does. Great hammer and such. Do I use them? I do use great clubs, from what I remember. Great clubs, great swords, etc. Those are actually really good weapons. Halberds are also pretty good. Best overall weapon? I wouldn't know offhand. I don't experiment with every single weapon. Although speedrunners do like to use the Black Knight Greatsword, I think it's called. And it is a solid weapon overall, so I'll say that. But this is an uninformed opinion, so take that for what it's worth. They seriously not made a single pit stop so far in this race? What the hell? Think it's the tires or they're driving really slow. It's the fact that I have 300 horsepower and they might be on stock upgrades. Although they might have bad tires. I'm actually not sure what tires the AI races with. Aside from like a couple events where they clearly use racing tires of some variety. Hey, Chemo Pronger. Yep, you made it about 1/8, I would say, of the way through the stream. Since, yes, we are going to be here for a 4-hour race. Alright, now, you have to hit the pit from here. As mentioned. If you don't, you just get... The game just says, yeah, well, fuck you. And, you don't actually pit. And of course, I'm not refueling because you drive faster when you have low fuel. Actually, I wonder if I did this. Okay, well, with this car, that's possible. What am I driving? Asked Gravestone. Mazda Miata. I forget which kind I'm driving, but it's fully upgraded. I think it's a 1800 something or other. There's like there's like 10 Mazda Miatas in the game. Probably the '04. Yes, it is the '04. Yeah, you typing that reminded me that it's the '04 one. So while we're here, I'm going to test some dishonorable driving tactics for if I want to be insane and try 200 points on this event. Okay, I don't think you can cut through here on the right because you have to make a sharper turn if you do. If only the Mazda 05 made it to the vanilla instead of the edition GT4. Is that version like extremely powerful compared to this one? Actually, that dishonorable driving tactic I don't think is actually faster. So, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I might have an idea. Mazda 5 is 12 horsepower more than the '04. Ah, I see. One turn, damn it. Okay, so let's see here. If I do this, does that help me at all? No, that absolutely does not help me at all. No chance. Alright, so yeah, it doesn't seem like there's many, if any, shortcuts I could use. Cutting through the grass here would just slow me down too much, I think. I think why I didn't come to the vanilla GT4 instead of the Mazda edition is because it's still a concept car. Yeah, probably. Yeah, in North America, I think this game came out in 2005, February 2005. So, yeah, if the car you're talking about came out later, that would be why. Or the concept stars car is still kind of in production. Yeah, or that. Okay. The fact that I'm 42 laps in and they have still not made a pit stop is a little unnerving to me. I don't know how they're still going. Maybe their performance will absolutely suck. Or maybe they just... Maybe they just... they only make pit stops to refuel. I'm starting to notice that the first place guy is kind of veering off a little bit on some turns. Unless that's just the path he normally takes. Oh, never mind. It's the path they normally take. 3, 4. Oh, finally, someone made a pit stop. Ah, so they're finally making pit stops after 47 laps. Well, in his case, it'd be 42 laps. 6 laps. So they are what, 6 minutes behind, I think? Maybe 6.5. This rate, you'll probably do 215. You have dash, or the backslash. I think you mean the dash to indicate 215 to 220 laps. I don't know if I'll do that many at this rate. It's possible. I'm thinking it'll be more like 210. But you could well be right. Okay, I think one more lap and then we'll pit stop. You know what? Let's try one more lap. Although I am starting to drift. So I think we keep the tires where they're at. Thank you. Use you as a cushion. Okay. Whoa. Oh my god. Okay, is that gonna work? Nope. Okay, well, fuck my pit stop attempt then. Okay. I download new lap record. No, I forgot to. This is a marathon stream. Does this mean you're driving nonstop for 4 hours? Well, I can pause the game. And also, I could let an AI driver drive for me. And I can also increase the game speed by 3 times when I do that. But yeah, I'll try going nonstop for 4 hours. There's 24-hour endurances in this game as well. And if you want to get A-spec points, you have to do all 24 hours. You cannot let the AI drive once. Alright, so let's slow way the hell down. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Oh, I did tell the game to give me more fuel. Ooh, rip. Yeah. The race will not end until the 4-hour mark. I will say, though, for the longer timed endurances, I'm not showing all of it on stream. I'll do like 2 hours and then show a bit of B-spec. In other words, an automatic setup to where the AI can just keep going with no input from me. Little to no input from me. And then just off-screen the rest. there. I think you're second place, maybe? Oh no, you're not second place. Hang on. Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. Some fucking water went down the wrong pipe. Yeah, that is the worst shit. Lap number 69. Wait, let's see what lap we're at, or let's see what lap I get into once I hit the 120 mark. Come on, turn. So at this rate, 73 times 3. Oh damn, it'll be 219 laps. Yeah. Assuming that I don't go into the B-spec mode at any point. And if I do, assuming Bob doesn't fuck up catastrophically, which there's always a chance he will. Get out of the way, yellow. Well, actually, I cleared 72, so it'll be... Actually, it'll be more like 216 laps, but yeah. I've heard that in GT5 that this exact event, although I don't know if it's on this racetrack or not, I've heard that the Roadster endurance is 6 hours. I don't know how true that is, but that is what I've heard. So we're 8 laps ahead of second place, I think. Yeah. So at the rate we're going, we'll be like 20 laps ahead if I keep going at the pace I'm going. It is 6-hour endurance. Is it on this track or is it a different track that it's on? You can save during the race and it's on, hold on. Oh, it's on this track. Okay. So if I could save midway through, then I would probably just do a bit of it, like half or a third of it, if I ever get around to doing 5. I'd do like half or a third of it. Some point where it's obvious that I won't lose, and then just off screen the rest. Okay. Okay. They added kart in GT5? What's kart? Or do you mean like actual kart racing? Oh, some kart racing. Ah. I am pretty far behind in TPL Motorsports run of that game, so special events not necessary to finish the game. Well, I'm sure he'll be doing that in his playthrough anyway. So if slash when I get around to watching that, I'll eventually see it. Alright, slow it down. No fuel. Yes. I think next pit stop I am going to go into B-Spec mode, because I'm curious how many times they've actually made pit stops in this race versus my, like, I think that was my 4th pit stop. And also I can grab something to munch on while Bob does his thing. Thank God B-Spec mode is a thing. You literally just did it. Hold on. AI does 40 laps-ish before pitting. Ah. Can't verify the AI does longer stints in the second half of the race somehow. Well, we, well, we might be seeing that here. RE7 DLC harder than the base game? I don't know. I haven't played it yet. Although I do know that it's shorter. So I'd say no. Go. Uh, GT games tier list is 432. Um, you mean as far as what I think is best to worst so far? Um, Actually, I'd be objective and say 423. But there's a, but to me, there's a pretty decent gap between 2 and 4. Even though I love 3, it is a childhood game of mine, so I might be looking at it with nostalgia goggles. And to be fair, there's a lot of repetition in 3. Like, there's 3 FF tournaments, 3 FR tournaments, 3 of the drivetrain tournaments, 3 turbo tournaments, and NA tournaments, and multiple GT World Championships, one in each tier, etc., etc. Also, there's like no difficulty progression. It's either like at first you struggle a bit, but then once you get a good car that can win an endurance race and win an F1 vehicle, Tuscan 6 can easily do this. Like, you don't ever have to worry about money again. GT2 still remains challenging, albeit for the fact that the AI rubber bands big time. So GT2 is definitely more interesting, and you have to use different vehicles for the dealership events. I think Yellow Boy's making a pit stop. Oh no, that's not Yellow Boy. Except Super License GT isn't challenging. Nah. Nah, GT3's pretty easy. Outside of the licenses. IMO. Although early on you might have some difficulty. Oh, and the Vits race is, the Vits tournament is challenging too. But short of that, you could just get an overpowered car and just crush everything in every single event. And to be fair, you can do that in this game too. Minus the Opel Speedster event. That one you can't just overpower. Even the World Championship in this game you can kind of overpower. Oh, well, and minus the F1 tournament. Oh, and if you do the time trials in the arcade, which does count for 100%, 8 through 9 are bullshit from what I remember, and 10 is hard because it's on the complex string. And you're not going to have practice on the complex string, since there are 0 races in the simulation mode where you have to race there. And there's some license tests there, but no races. debating whether or not I want to refuel. Like right on the border of yes and no. I wish I knew the exact number it was on. Let's do one more lap, I guess. If it drops into 2 out of 10, then yeah, I'll definitely oh, never mind. Yeah, it's time to refuel a little bit. Since I'm already making a pit stop, I may as well refuel while I'm here. And let's go into B-Spec mode, because I'm curious if the AI does actually do longer stints in the second half of the race. And we'll see how many pits they've made in total. Also, I'll grab myself something to munch on. May as well do a full refuel. Now Bob, as we know, is definitely not affected by tire wear like I am. Okay, so far they've only done 2 pit stops. And we'll just ×3 speed this. I'm curious if I could put them on push. If I can put them on push... ooh, that was too fast. Alright, let's see, what does Bob do here? He does not slow down anywhere near enough and then ends up in the sand. He does recover quickly, though. Alright, let's set him on fast. Alright, let's see. Do you go off-road on fast? Well, everyone's in your way, so this isn't a good test. Come on, Bob, pass these guys. Okay, let's see. You're slowing down more. Okay. Alright, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've been back for a minute or two. I have seen Bob spin out or lose control at this turn. I will resume control when he needs to make a pit stop, which seems like it's going to be pretty soon. Okay, well, oh, well, no. I thought you made a pit stop there, but no. Bit off topic. Bit off topic from the stream. Could you tell more about the BW campaigns where they just had mass nexus all over the place? Well, more like just mass buildings, but there's definitely multiple nexuses. There was one I did on stream called Red Dragon, where you basically just build a million ghosts early on, and then later on, and then eventually you control a Zerg hive cluster for reasons unknown. And against Zealot and Dragoon, you could choose either build ghosts, vultures, and wraiths, which you probably know is not a good idea against Mass Zealot and Dragoon. Or fully upgraded Zerglings with adrenal glands. Zergling and Hydralisks. The Hydraling comp. There's an example where it's just building spam. The last mission in that one Terran campaign I played a long time ago also had that problem. Also, shit, I think I forgot to switch to A-Spec, didn't I? Fuck, I did. Never thought about using Ghost versus Zealot Dragoon. Yeah. Yeah, if you go with the Terran tree, that's literally what you're stuck with. Because Marines, Firebats, and such are unavailable in that campaign. Keep current. Keep current. Yeah. There's no lore given for that unit embargo. Just because the only lore given is that it's a special ghost thing. But that doesn't explain why they wouldn't be able to build Goliaths or tanks. And there's one mission where you're literally forced to just mass nukes. And you better make sure you kill off every single Nexus and enemy probe, or else they will rebuild. If you'd like, I can send you the link to my stream of that on Discord after I'm done here. Like, even Vorgaz commented while I was streaming that. I'm pretty sure the intended way is literally just mass nukes at this point in Lamau. And he also said, good thing there's no concussive air unit, otherwise you'd be forced to use that as well. Although I will say, that campaign did edit the cost of Ghost to just be 50 minerals, aka 1 Marine. But still. Also, Director's Cut StarCraft has Zerg bases with just a bazillion hives and hatcheries. How Brood Wars freeware nowadays, would I say the game's basically a sandbox one? What do you mean? You mean Brood War itself being a sandbox, or with various custom campaigns being sandboxes, or... I'm not entirely sure what you're asking. I mean, it definitely is freeware these days. Unless you want to spend $15 buying the enhanced, and I use that term loosely, graphics. Which, fuck that. Like D2R at least has gameplay changes and new rune words and such. You say Brood War is a sandbox game since there's not a lot you can do to modify game's design, create custom campaign mods, etc. Oh yeah, I would say that. I mean, obviously, like specifically 116. Although there are people who would play around with older versions of the game. But yeah, I would agree with yeah, I would agree with that sentiment. Speaking of which, I think I know the answer, but have you bothered playing around with disabling slash destroying Windows Defender so you can play the quality of life mod? The one that changes the hotkeys to the grid hotkey layout and fixes a couple bugs. Don't worry, it's permanently compromising your system. Mm. Yeah, I know you can allegedly tell Windows Defender to make exceptions for things, but it will not listen to you. Ah. What strategies for Streets LTK and DLTK? There is a strat for DLTK where you can do where you can lure the respawning enemies into an area where they can't get to you. Like you can lure them. I think what people do for DLTK is they they position the tank in such a way that the infinitely respawning guys that chase you get stuck and held up on the tank. And as for the rest of the stage, you gotta know exactly where to fire your grenade launcher shots to instantly kill the guards that are in your way, otherwise they will snipe you from the other side of the map. And actually driving the tank through the streets is complete suicide. As for LTK, you might be able to just do what I just said, except you might be able to snipe the guys on the streets with the K7 Soviet. But I haven't experimented with Streets LTK. But the LTK, well, I say LTK community, the Elite.net community has definitely invented strats to make it more manageable. And thanks to said strats, it's not even in the top. According to Adam Boson, who made a little mini guide on the topic, it's not even in the top 5 hardest stages for LTK, or for DLTK, I mean. And if you're wondering, his top 5, according to that guide, is Jungle, Cradle, Control, Train, and Silo. boxes are useful in train LTK. Yeah, for dodging bullets. But you can't let them hit the boxes too many times or else they shoot through and kill you. And on DLTK, you can use them to... Like, once you kill their body armor, you can blow up the box to finish them off. And, like, if you do that on DLTK, it becomes very clear that every single guard, almost, has light body armor. And it's not as bad as, like, the normal body armor guards, but still. So, like, you hemorrhage bullets. Like, really badly, you end up hemorrhaging bullets in DLTK. According to, like, literally every run of it that I have seen. So 16 laps. That is, I'm just gonna say 17 minutes ahead. I mean, that's not entirely how it works, but I'm just gonna say it is. I'm judging by my best lap time. Giving myself some breathing room. Come on, break. Okay, cool. Do 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 do. Go down. Soft and medium. Yeah, sure. Soft, medium. No fuel. Okay. So. Go, 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 go. I think once we hit the next pit stop, I'll go back into B-Spec mode and see how many times they've made pit stops. Using the Pearson from RCP90 is the best option for the last corridor and caverns for LTK. I would say so. I mean, you do get it for, well, I say free, but, like, you do get it. And it does have piercing, unlike the... Actually, wait. Don't the guards normally have the AR-33? Like the rest of the guards? I think they do. But yeah, I'd still probably say RCP-90 for the increased rate of fire and the slightly increased damage. Not that that matters in LTK, but yeah. How's it going so far? 16 laps ahead of second place. So yeah, no challenge here. This is exactly the reason why I wanted to try and maybe do a 200 point version of this, but that was too hard. And also I was probably going about it wrong. And or I need to learn how to fine-tune the car, which I do not know how to do. Turn, damn it. 17 laps. So yeah, that is definitely 20 minutes. At least 20-minute advantage I have over them. 18 laps. Let me think. How long would that be? I'd say 21 to 25 minutes. Where would I kill Jaws in the Aztec run? LTK. Keep in mind, I don't know how to properly do the door skip. Otherwise, I'd have done that. But I kill him. I try and lure him right back to the glass door and kill him as close to that there as possible, because that means less laser guards later on. Actually, I have a video of it. Oh, 18 laps. Yeah, that would be 21 to 25 minutes or so. Right. I'm going to call it here. I've won the race. I mean, I'll finish it, of course, before I end stream, so... But I think we'll let Bob do the rest of the work. Even if he fucks up catastrophically, he'll still win. We will still win the race, since I did enough of the legwork. Slow down. B, and let's go without fuel for a bit. Okay, so they have... Oh, wait, let's do steady. So, let's see, that is 1 and... Yeah, 1.2. 1.2 minutes times 18. And that's best case scenario. 1.2 times 18 is 19.8, I believe. No. That's 1.1. 21.6, I believe. Yeah, and that's best case scenario for them. Alright, yeah, we've got it won. Overtake everyone. So if the AI does not make another pit stop from now until the end of the race, then I'll say that what that guy said about the AI makes longer stints in the second half of the race, I think that will be correct. I think there will be some evidence there to back that up. Or if it's like 5 minutes before the end of the race. Okay. So at this point, I could literally just go back to A-Spec and sit there for like the rest of the race, and I'd still win. I'm gonna make Bob keep going until the fuel gauge is literally at empty. And 20 laps ahead of the competition with 24 minutes to go. Yeah, there's no chance. He has no chance of keeping up. Or catching up, I mean. Bob's actually pulling off some pretty good laps. 105, 104. Yeah, these are actually really good laps, I gotta say. Might just be because the fuel is so low. But yeah, we're 3 hours 10 minutes into the stream, 3 hours 40 minutes into the race. Sure, you see why I like B-Spec mode. But obviously Bob has to be well trained for that. Otherwise, he'll just throw the race. I'll try not to do that for the rest of the endurances. Minus the 8, 9, and 24-hour endurances, obviously, because fuck doing all that shit by myself. Oh yeah, make a pit stop. Yeah, you're like out of gas. Three out of 80, okay. So basically I was having Bob be one of those drivers on the road that's like, I know my car, I can make it to the next gas station while the fucking meter is on the E. And I definitely used to be one of those people. It's like in this region of the world where I live, we have two kinds of drivers when it comes to gas. Either it's somewhere their gas meter will be between like 3/4 and half, or maybe just bordering 3/4, and they'll say, I need to get gas, I don't want to run out. And the exact opposite end of the spectrum, where, as said, they have their gas on the fucking E, like they're almost out, and they'll say, I know my car, I can make it to the next station. I mean, I'm not as bad for that these days. Like, these days I try to refuel slightly before it gets there, but yeah, I was definitely bad for that. And of course, people won't refuel before driving out in a snowstorm. I mentioned this last stream. The people will do that, or either drive so slow they won't get anywhere, or they drive way too fast and cause an accident. And they don't change their tires to actually be good in the snow. So people fucking drift around like they're trying to recreate the Initial D Deja Vu / running in the 90s music video or some shit. And half of them will try and be like 3 goddamn feet behind you, which for the rest of the world translates to about 1 meter, give or take. Okay, 209. Can Bob do another, I think it's 5 laps? 4 laps? Or no, not 4. 5, 6 laps? Can he do another 5 or 6 laps and end up in the 215 to 220 range? I hope he can. 2:14, and yeah, Bob will definitely do 1 or 2 more laps before the end of the race. So, Gabriel, you called it. So it looks like we'll end on lap 217, meaning that we've cleared 216 laps. So 22 laps ahead of everybody else. Not bad. Alright, what do we win? Probably another Mazda Miata, if I had to make a guess. That is one of the potential prize cars in GT3. Okay. What do we win? Well, we did win a Mazda. I think I already have one of those, though. Before I end stream, let's see. Definitely not doing 24 hours of Nürburgring next time. Japan, manufacturer, Mazda. Sort by car name. I don't have a LM race car. Anyway. Let's do all vehicles. We're gonna hop back in the Minolta. And then next time, which will be tomorrow, probably same usual time, we shall be doing, I'm thinking Infineon, because it's the next timed race. Even though this is longer, and of course we have 3 24-hour endurances. So, I think we'll do Infineon next time. 2 hours, 45 minutes. And I still feel like my percentage is low, so I will check to make absolutely certain that I've done everything. But yeah. Alright, that's all I got for today. So, on this note, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Farewell.